We are talking American Horror Story, spoiler review, Winter of Our Discontent. Oh man, you know what? I gotta say, in the beginning of the American Horror Story cult, I wasn't feeling it. You know, with Allison, Ivy, Allison always crying, and the political game that was going on. But boy, have we really just taken off and ran with it. I mean, what Kai is doing as a leader, the twists, the turns, the murders, insane. This episode is another doozy. So let's get into Kai, okay? Because Evan Peters is killing it this season, and this is a character that's the most unique, the most versatile, the most in your face. It really reminds you of the classic horror Clockwork Orange, because you don't know what this guy's going to do. He's a murderer. He's a psychopath. Yeah, he has reasoning. Yeah, he has a past where he actually he does right things, yet in a wrong way. I mean, this episode really showcases that, especially with the flashback of him and Winter being on the dark web and then being invited to this like little farmhouse that ends up being like a Saw, Saw kind of thing, where this guy's like taking somebody who was on drugs and somebody who, or a woman who had an abortion, kidnapping them, and then the guy who was, I believe he was gay, and he was talking about AIDS. And then they end up killing the actual Jigsaw guy. I thought that part was pretty crazy. But Kai as a character, especially in this episode, his sexuality, he swings both ways. He likes women, he likes men. To him, it doesn't matter. To him, it's all about reason. It's just doing what he feels is right. The detective's point of view on Kai, telling him that he's not gay, he just needs a man. Like that shit was crazy, man. They're really showcasing this character Kai and how much he can manipulate, but also can convince people and have them follow him and do whatever he wants. This motherfucker would make an argument that the earth is flat and you still would follow Kai. Like Kai, a character, is one of my favorite characters in American Horror Story because this guy knows what to say, knows what to do to get to power. And it kind of reminds you of, guess who? Donald Trump. But with Donald Trump, he had money as power. With Kai, he has his words as power. With Trump, yes, he has the same thing, but mostly money. The interesting thing about this episode was the relationship that he deteriorating between him and Bev, him and Winter, him and a lot of the guys, a lot of the people. I'm pretty sure him and Ivy, after seeing the preview to the next episode, especially him and Bev, especially Bev. Like, Bev is over this shit. She's in the kitchen. She's making food for his lackeys. I mean, she told him, I want to be 50-50 partners. And it's not 50-50 partners, basically. It's her doing all this shit. And Kai says that she has another greater plan for her, but she can't take it no more. She can't take the shit no more. I love Adina Porter. I think Adina is awesome. I loved her in Roanoke as Lee. I love her in here as Bev. She just really brings that like swagness to the show. I really love this kind of newcomer in American Horror Story. She's just awesome. I loved it. Like I said, I thought she did a fantastic job as Lee, and she is pretty much Lee in this season. But the chemistry between her and Evan Peters is really off the chart, and I really like when those two are really bouncing back and forth, especially when she betrayed him, even though Winter is she's a liar, and then Kai saying like, I had big things for you, and then she's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like I love Bev. Bev was dope. Another thing in this episode was Winter. Winter betraying, kind of killing off the detective, that weird ass threesome that I don't even really want to talk about because it was so weird. And then the backstory of what Kai has done and what his reasoning is all about, because she knows that he is fighting for a cause, but he's being not straight away, but he's taking a right turn. The thing about Kai is you just don't know if he does have a big master plan overall, or he's just kind of like doing, his ego is just getting really the best of him. So I think she sees that as well. And it's crazy how all the women are just calling like all the guys, turd, you fucking turd. The most crazy thing in this episode has to be, with Kai and his brother Vincent, Allison telling Kai, having that little conversation they had, and then Allison saying like, you know what, you guys did exactly what I didn't think you guys were gonna do. You guys cured me. Like, I ain't scared of nothing no more. Makes Kai sloppy joes like, oh yeah, your brother wanted to commit you. Like, crazy shit where Kai believes Allison. There's something there. There's something very important. Kai has a very, even though Kai is telling, told Vincent in the beginning of this episode, like, what's with this, are you embarrassed because one of your people that you've been helping tried to kill me? There's something there though. There's something between Kai and Allison, and I think they're really kind of like showcasing, especially with a lot of things that are happening surrounding these two characters, how at first we were with Allison and now we're really with Kai. I think we're going to get back to Allison because it was Allison Ivy in the beginning, but now we're kind of circling back where it's going to be Allison once again, and especially with her and Ivy's relationship at the end of this episode. Whoa, knew it. I mean, I knew Allison was going to be part of it, but just kind of like seeing everything kind of come together from where we started to where we are now, crazy shit. And Ivy, her face is like, what the fuck? Like, that shit was crazy. That shit was funny. The Vincent, Kai killing his own brother, chopping off his pinky, saying he was lied to. Like, in Winter, that's going to push Winter over the edge because Winter's the one that killed the detective and she pinned it on Bev. But Winter, after seeing her own brother get killed by her other brother, like, it's gone too far. At first, when I was watching this episode and I'm seeing the really close relationship between Kai and Winter, where's Vincent come along in this? And he's acting like smiling like, older brother he is, but the dude gets murdered. Like, I thought there was going to be a little bit more to this character with these three. I think especially with the family kind of trying to stick together after the parents, the dad being an asshole and stuff. I don't know. I just was kind of hoping more of that character, but he really kind of did nothing to the series. He didn't really give a lot to the series, and then yet he didn't take away anything from the series as well. This character, Kai's brother. So I mean, if anything, it's kind of more shock value, maybe to push his Winter even more over the edge to betray Kai. So, but then again, like I said, Kai might have a master plan. Kai, last episode blew my mind. This episode is making me question his motives. Or like, where's he going with all this? Like, does he really think he's going to conquer the world? Like, it's a madman. It's a madman. But yet, with Kai, he seems mad, crazy, deranged. But does he have actual plan? That's what I want to know. This episode really did a fantastic job of keeping me engaged, keeping me wondering what's going to happen next, seeing a lot of the flashbacks. Some of it was a little bit kind of cut pretty fast. Some of it was like the Saw, like the guy really allowed them to leave. It was really that easy to get out of this guy's traps when all these traps were like, he was able to close the door on them. And it was a little bit too easy to get off that Jigsaw kind of situation there. Other than that, I mean, the acting is still stellar. Evan Peters is still killing it. Some of the characters I wish wouldn't have died, like Vincent, but it was a kind of a cool kind of death, and how it's like a Clockwork Orange. I always think Clockwork Orange when all these clowns are like circling with each other. I don't think of anything else but Clockwork Orange. American Horror Story, this episode did its job. The train keeps going. We haven't made a pit stop yet. We'll see what the next episode brings, but so far, American Horror Story in the beginning was losing my interest, but now it's really, it's something that I look forward to every week, and that's what you want the viewers to do and talk about. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of moments where they're just trying to throw it in your face and like shock value. American Horror Story is known for doing that. I mean, look at Hotel. I think a lot of that was for shock value, especially with Lady Gaga being brought in. But this episode really kind of up the ante, and I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this episode. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, like it, comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. Really enjoyed the episode. Can't wait for the next. I'm down to making a son. You guys stay good. Happy Halloween. Happy